Welcome back to the Elevate podcast, where we help founders elevate to the next level. Today, we're diving deep into AI, stuff that you need to know that you should avoid, things that are going to be helpful for you as a founder just getting started. The three of us have been playing and using AI now for months and months and months since it kind of came out. And so we have some pro tips and tricks that we've learned from experts who are just doing that solely as a 100% thing. And of course, I'm joined alongside by Neil Fairmont. My name's Sean Malone. I'm joined by Neil Fairmont and also Simon Severino. Hey, fellas, how's it going? What's a big win? Neil, win.
Just been speaking to a potential new client today that has a rather large series of live streams that they may want to do starting January of next year. It's one of the biggest projects I may have to undertake. So potentially it's not done yet, but it's a potential win. So can we have a potential win instead?
Yeah, potential win. That's fun. Simon, I love the sound effects. What's your win today, man?
I like to celebrate things even when they are tiny. My win of today is I have 6 beta readers for the book that's not even ready. And thank you. You guys are some of those, and it's so cool. It feels collaboratively and much more fun. Last months were just me and the screen, and I hate it.
Big win for us. We started a low ticket funnel, right? So like I always talk about, the business that has the most entry points is the one that wins. And an entry point is just somewhere where they can like learn about a business and go into the business, whether it be through a book or a funnel or a paid ad or a direct outreach or whatever entry points that you have. So we've been working with one of the best marketers in the world, Brian Delaney, dear friend of mine. I've known him for a lot of years. And we put together a low ticket funnel, and we've been testing it this past month. And we now have an average cart value of over $122. And the book that we're selling in the funnel is this one. It's the DM Selling Playbook. It's really fancy.
It's the next one. Last week we saw the old one. That's already number 2.
This one,
is this the new one?
Yeah, so this is a DM Selling Playbook that we launched about the same time. That is designed and built in a funnel. And so this book is $47 to buy it. And then we have a couple of upsells. And our average cart value, that means the people that go through the funnel, they end up paying us $122. So this is amazing, because now I have this ability to go onto other podcasts and talk with these hosts and say, hey, look, let's promote that book. And anyone that gets sold, I'm going to pay you $100. And people are like, wait, but the book only costs $47. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to pay you $100 for them to buy a $47 book. How does that sound? No podcast host can say no to that, right? And that's amazing way to do that, because we're still cash flow positive on the front end. That's what you call a self-liquidating offer. And then they run through the system and they end up buying a membership, which makes us more money. And that's really where we're going. But that's working really well, is what that was my win for this week. So, all right, cool. Let's get into the topic for today, which is, I love the sound effects. Today, we're going to talk about AI, straight to the heart of what's new and how founders like you can actually use AI to work in your business. First question, Simon, coming at you. What's the most exciting new AI development you've seen recently, and that could change how founders grow their business?
I'm monitoring all the time, like actual ROI, actual productivity increases in AI. Out there, I'm seeing few and rare examples. Shopify is one example. They can show that productivity so if you divide their revenue by their number of their employees, you see a hockey stick over the last 3 quarters. That's in the big houses. In the small houses, like here at Strategy Sprints, we have become 10 times better at writing emails, at writing blog posts, at having better headlines for our YouTube videos, because both Michelle, Lou, and I, we are all not native speakers. And so we're terrible at writing. And we kind of got away with it because we are generous when we write. So we get away with it, and people tell us the typos, but still like the emails. But it's got better. Now they are kind of readable. And the second thing is Fixer AI. So Claude is unthinkable to live without for us right now. We max it out every 5 hours. And I have a lot of fun with Grok, especially for the financial stuff. Like today, hey, Grok, is the government actually going to shut down? How's the market reacting? Brrr. It briefs me in a minute. That's how I use Grok a lot for like current stuff. And it's like you're asking the Financial Times team, but they normally wouldn't answer you, and Grok does. So that's how I use Grok. And I use Fixer AI to say, hey, where was somebody inclined to buy a strategy sprint, but we dropped the ball. Can you reconnect us? And it's really good at reminding me of those people because I forget their names or the topic. And it's really good at doing that.
Nice. Love that. So I heard you use one AI for current events, one of them for actions in your business that your whole team uses, and then one of them to help for grammatic fixes and making sure that you sound super smart and don't make any spelling errors. Definitely great use cases. Neil, over to you. What's the most exciting new AI development you've seen recently that could change how founders grow their business?
Well, I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was a Salesforce that had a number of leads that they weren't following up on. And from a big company perspective, they adopted AI to really just hone in and find and search all those missing sort of leads. And they ended up uncovering $100 million worth of lost or potentially lost revenue by not sort of following up on these leads that they had in their organization. And that was just down to sort of people not having enough time or whatever it is. So they adopted an AI workflow and automated that process. So something like that can really simplify the process and sort of make less mistakes and obviously cost less, make sure that the organizations are not losing money. From my own perspective, similar to Simon, there's a number of tools I use day to day. I mean, the most exciting one for me as a video production person is all the new AI tools that are coming out that are just creating realistic avatar-based videos. I'm not saying these videos are going to replace humans, but they've got the potential now to create short-form content that's much easier for people to digest and, more importantly, easier to create. So if you're not that confident on camera, if you're not that familiar with how sort of video works and so on, you can basically just take a quick snapshot of yourself now and create an AI avatar that will either speak to your business services, it will promote a particular aspect of your business and so on. So it's getting less and less difficult, or the barrier to entry is less now for people to sort of generate high performing short form content with this AI. Now, I'm not saying it should be there as everything. You want to have a mixture of real life people displaying your information and so on, as well as using AI tools. But I think that's sort of been the biggest advance in the last few weeks for me. I mean, it just seems to be changing every week. And another AI tool is going to come out and change the game. We've had Sora 2 that's just been released yesterday, which is now an app on your phone. You just take a quick snapshot of yourself, speak a few words, and you will now have an avatar that's so lifelike. It's crazy. So this is moving so quickly, and I think from a founder's perspective, looking at the tools that can sort of simplify, automate, and make your life a little bit easier is the way forward. I use Claude connectors. So I connect my Claude now to my Gmail, to my Google Drive, helps me find emails that I've missed, helps me find data on my drive that I may need to consolidate and pull in. For example, I was using it only the other day to pull in all my invoicing to see if I've missed any invoicing, any chase up emails to people that I haven't sort of looked after, or basically invoiced somebody if I've missed something. And then it gives me a consolidated view of everything that I've invoiced over the last month and any emails that I may have missed and things like that. So there's a lot of way that you can do this type of automation.
I love that. I'm going to have to check out Sora too. I think that's really magical. One of the newest AI developments that I've seen recently is not so much just like a general use of like a single tool, but is almost like an AI agent is what they're calling them, where you can connect or combine multiple AI tools together. The best user interface I've seen for doing that is a program called n8n.com. If you haven't seen that one's a pretty cool builder where you can actually just go in and then create things. So a couple of things that we've done that I think are different and that are new and exciting. We partnered with a company called Hyros Air, You guys may know Alex Becker from Hyros. Hyros was an original software that would track all of your ad spend across all the socials and give you efficiencies saying, use this one, do that, put more money here, spend it on a Tuesday at 5 p.m., whatever. Hyros Air is the next edition of a new product for him that actually will go to your website if you got visitors coming to your website that are not opting in, and it will find their data, and then it will actually automatically look at their information, create an email, send it to that email to that person to get them to book a call. So we launched this thing like 2 weeks ago, and it's already going crazy because we have 20 to 50,000 people a month that hit our website that never do anything for us. And now the majority of those people's contact information is being captured, and AI is doing this whole thing where it's writing an email, sending an email. That's really cool. The second thing, kind of want to just iterate on what Neil said, what's capable, what's possible, what's exciting is the content machine. We're building something called the content monster, which is a combination of a lot of AIs that does what Neil just talked about. However, it doesn't just do a video. It's actually going to put the B-roll in there. It's going to throw the captions, transcriptions. It's going to write the little post for you. And by the end of it, you just click a button, yes, I want this, and it'll post everywhere. So we're building that. And then the last thing I think that's really also pretty unique and awesome is no AI that I've seen to date has been able to write direct messages. I'm in the DM space, if you didn't know, right? Flowchat.com. And we now have our own native AI that we built, which will actually have conversations autonomously for you. But some people don't like the way our AI works, and they've already spent a lot of time over in a Grok or a Claude or a whatever program building their brand voice and how they talk and all this other stuff. Well, now we've actually opened up the ability to hook in that AI system into your DMs, and we're going to blow it out across all of the major social platforms. It'll be the only one of its kind that I've ever seen. So a lot of new exciting developments are coming down the pipe. I do think the AI agents are the things that we should really start to be focused on. So if you're just getting started, start small, aim small, miss small, and then grow, right? So that would be, I would say, right? Only focus on like revenue production, right? So how do I use AI to get revenue? If it's leaning in that direction, then follow that path. Question 2, back over to Simon. How are smart founders actually adopting AI, not just experimenting, but using it to create real revenue, kind of like I was saying, or maybe even saving real time?
There is a team called Merker. They are, for me, the frontier team. What they are doing is they want to create those agents that everybody wants to create, right? But actually, the only team that has actually built an infrastructure for agents was Google over the last 10 years. And nobody has agents actually running around doing stuff across the whole A to end-to-end tasks. So you can't say, hey, book me a trip to Paris, and then it does it, and it comes back, and it's done. But Merker, what they are doing is, I think, very smart. They're paying $200,000 to experts for a year, and they're picking different verticals, and they're paying $200,000 to one expert. Let's say it's a patent lawyer. And so they pay him $200,000. He interacts 8 hours a day with the AI. And so he's basically training that vertical to be less hallucinatory and actually grounded in the realities of that field. So in 12 months, I think you can actually use that agent for patent stuff. Go protect my brand. And then those 16 agents, they branch out. One does research, one does already filling out a form, etc. They can actually do it in 12 months. That's exciting, and I think that's the right thing to do. Because that generic, or like Neil calls it, the slop, that's over. It's recognizable from the far, it's irritating. That's not the future. The future is vertical specific, immersed into the realities, zero hallucinations. It's like actually having an expert and a senior advisor sitting with you. So the first thing that I'm excited about is this vertical specificity. Think of like Harvey for the lawyers, and you will have the same thing for financials, for marketing teams, etc. For marketing, teams. There is Firsthand, which is another team that's doing great stuff. So there is per vertical thing that I'm excited about. And the second thing that I'm excited about is introducing voice. One team that's doing that is Grab. So Grab is a super app in Southeast Asia. Think of it's like an Uber app plus a DoorDash app on it. Because these super apps, you interact like 8 times a day. Like you get your commute done via the Grab app, but then also you order food via the Grab app, and then maybe, on top of that, maybe even a movie. So they have the data mode, they have the user, and they have drivers. Some of those drivers, they need help because it's stressful. Driving in Southeast Asia is stressful. Sometimes you have traffic jams. You have maybe a tornado that's coming. They don't have a GPS. So the first thing that's coming for them is voice, so that the driver can actually talk to a GPS and say, hey, is this the right route, or should I take another one? And it can talk back and say, go to the left. So they can have less admin. They can get more stuff done via voice. And I think voice is the next frontier. One is verticals, and the other one is voice that I'm excited about.
I love that for sure. Neil, over to you. How are smart founders actually adopting AI, not just experimenting, but actually using it to create real revenue or save real time?
I think automation, you mentioned NA10, is really key. And if you can sort of simplify and automate some mundane processes that take time, you can spend obviously time on other things like building your business and generating more revenue. And I've adopted automation into my workflows, many different things that I'm using. I use actually make.com. I've played around with NA10 as well. But make.com for me is a bit simpler. And I've taken a number of different sort of mundane workflows that I had to do on a sort of a daily basis. And I'll give you one example. So every week, this is a very simple example, but every week I tend to write a LinkedIn post that advertises what I'm doing in the week with regards to live streams, webinars, and other things that I'm working on. And typically I'd have to go to YouTube, get my description, get my link to that YouTube, get my link to the webinar, and pull all this together separately. And I used to call it my Sunday social posting 2 hours that I used to sort of spend time on. So I thought, well, why can't I just simplify this in order to, one, because I'm using it as a marketing tool. I market my services and things every Monday on LinkedIn and other posts. So I wanted something to save me time. So I just basically used make.com with AI agents, so a Claude agent and a Perplexity agent and some other things to pull in some sort of information that I wanted. It would grab my stuff from YouTube, grab the URL, the time that I'm doing my webinar, all this kind of stuff that I have to do myself. It would just pull it all in automatically and write a nice formatted post in my writing style, because I train the agent on how I write. I do a lot of posts on Substack, my email writing style, just my tone of voice, and typically. So it sounds exactly like it's coming from me, but that saves me so much time. It actually saves me, hours worth of time every Sunday when I'm doing my social stuff. And now I'm getting a nicely formatted marketing post that's going out on LinkedIn every week. And that's helping me generate more interest in my webinars. It's getting more signups and things like that. So that in itself not only saves me time, but also helps automate the overall process and potentially gets me more business, because it's a more attractive proposition and better writing style than I could do myself.
Yeah, I love that. I would add, I don't think I have much to add in terms of like how to use it to create real revenue or save real time. One thing that I will share with you is like, as a founder, one of the things that the thought exercise that I would encourage you to do as you're listening to this is just look at like time studies, right? So I always learned, like, if you want to grow your business, if you want to get into the owner's box of your business and have team and system running your business where everybody wants to be, one of the things we should do is a time study and just document like what you do every 15 minutes for 1 or 2 weeks, categorize those things, see where you're spending the most time, and then figure out, how do I put team and system, or better yet, system and automation to do that with AI for me, right? And if you do that thought exercise and you do it over and over once a week, right? Like I have about a 2-hour block every single week that I meet with my co-founders. And that's all we do. We think about like, how do we make this business less clicks for our members, because that's our initiative. If we can help you get less clicks and get more production, you win. And so if we always focus on that one KPI and we're like, what can we do with AI that makes it still feel real, human, authentic, genuine, and awesome, that we don't need to staff anymore, and we can just build a system that will do that. And then we have our team go in and check and test and run and then monitor the system. So some of the people in our organization, like SDRs, right? Sales development reps or business development reps, whatever you want to call them, setters, like there's a lot of bunch of names for them. Those people go from actually doing the work, like as an example, DMing people, like they're actually messaging and they have to get some intelligence to be able to do that, to now AI can speak like us, and they go from doing the work to now watching the work being done, reviewing. So doing to reviewing is kind of like the big shift, if you want to keep your team, right? Because I think AI has provided some outlets of how do you get rid of people on your team to save yourself in labor cost, because that's usually a big expense for most businesses. That's the first thing. That's where people are like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job to AI. Well, not the case, because the case is it just shifts the focus of the job that you were already doing. And if you looked at any example, I can promise you can change from doing it to reviewing it using an AI tool, and there's still always going to be a place for those people, right? I think there are some industries, I think Simon mentioned one, like patent attorneys that do the searches for patents. You don't have to do that anymore. Anything that congregates big data, like programming, those ones are a little bit different. But for the most part, I would say those are some of the ways that a lot of founders I see are creating real revenue and saving some time. Let's go into the opposite side of this thing. I'm going to go back to Neil this time. What mistakes do you see founders making when they first try to implement AI?
There's so many. I think the first one is really using the wrong tools for the specific job. So choosing the wrong AI tool based on somebody else's recommendation, based on somebody posting on YouTube saying you need this AI tool, it's going to revolutionize and do all this for you. You know, spending hours and hours of time on that particular tool, and it's not being fit for purpose. I think that's one problem. The other one is using bad data. So AI, as good as it is, as smart as it is, it's only as good as the data that it's trained on. And if you are a founder in a particular business and your business has unique characteristics within a specific workflow or whatever that might be, you need to train that AI on the data that's relevant to your business and not use the data that it's been trained on out there, because obviously AI is being trained on everything that's available on the internet, books, whatever it might be, and research. But if it's something specific to your business, then not training your AI model, whether it be an agent or something for automation, on the data that's relevant to you and your business, then you're not going to get the right results out of it. And I think people spend a lot of time sort of trying to retrofit something without actually properly, adequately training. And I'll give you one more. Implementing an AI solution and then maybe not training the staff or your people on what this tool is capable of doing and how it's automating within there. So inadequate training of a new process that you put into your business is going to fail, because basically people don't understand how to fix it if there is something wrong with that particular automation flow. So there's three things that I would consider people do wrong straight away with AI.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Simon, over to you. What mistakes do you see founders first make when they try to implement AI in their business?
Relying too much on AI. So there's a hedge fund that's 5 people, and they set up an algorithm, so it's systematic trading, and they gave it a strategy, trend following, and the strategy is not working. So they're not beating the market. But they don't change it, because they say that's the strategy, we rely, it will work soon. So what you're doing, and you're basically abandoning first principles. What's the job of the hedge fund? It's to hedge. It doesn't matter what the macro is, what the technology is. Your job is you're getting people's money, and your job is to hedge it, to protect it, and to grow it. That's your job. But they say, no, this is the setup. We've built this. We're the best at this. I don't care if you're best at this if the outcome for the people that you are here to serve is a negative outcome. Then forget it, right? It's not working. But it's AI. We have spent so much time in quant, and we have the best people, the best quants. So, and we could expand this example to other industries too, when they say it's the best technology and this is how we do things here. Let's go back to the first principles. Who is it that we are here to serve? What is it that we are here to do? That should be number one. You know, my mentor's mentor was Peter Drucker, who later became Peter Drucker. And he always said, first question, what is the right thing to do? Second question, how do we do it the right way? So first efficacy, then efficiency. You don't start with efficiency. Efficiency is never the answer. The answer is always efficacy. Are we doing the right thing? Is this the right thing to do? And then when you nailed that, you go to the second part. Is this the best way to do it? So are we doing it efficiently? But if efficiency is your answer, you're answering the wrong question. And AI is triggering that and is kind of became an excuse for that. It's high tech. We are so precise. We are so quant. We are so efficient. We are so fast. Yeah, but in the wrong direction. You don't want to be the fastest marathon runner in the wrong direction.
That's a true statement, man. I love that. That's a really good point to make.
Good.
Okay, final question here, and then we'll do a quick takeaway round. If a new founder wanted to start with just one or two AI tools, which one do you recommend, Simon?
For founders, to build them or to use them?
Either.
So to build them, build something that helps people use voice, because it's stupid that we're watching screens. That's not how life is meant to be. We are meant to run around in nature, hunting stuff, collaborating, playing, singing, dancing. This is how we should be doing stuff. We shouldn't watch a little square thing or watch down or watch to our hands. Why should we do that? We're meant to watch out there, right? So if you're innovating something, build something that removes us having to watch phones and watch screens, because that's stupid. Voice, other forms of screens. Let's say you can project things on a tree, on glasses, on whatever you can eliminate this friction of us staring at screens. I think that's a stupid thing. Shouldn't be happening anymore. So that's one thing that I would build as a founder. Voice can help. Other ways of projecting can help. And in using it, I think Fixer AI and Claude, without them, we would be probably 15 times less productive.
There you go. Fixer and Claude would be the 1 to 2 AI tools that Simon says, and then do something voice. I agree with that 100%. Neil, over to you. What if a new founder wanted to start with just 1 or 2 AI tools, what would you say? Which ones? I think
it just depends on what your sort of function is and what type of industry you're in. If you're doing a lot of research in or for the competition, or researching your competition or anything like that, I think Perplexity is probably the best tool for doing summarized research tools, because obviously it's the ability to not only search stuff on Google, it's got the ability to actually reason and sort of relate those. So Perplexity will go onto Reddit, it'll go onto Amazon, it'll go onto Google, it'll go everywhere and summarize the research that you require as opposed to just going to Google. I know Google's got AI elements in it now, but for me, probably the best tool for doing research, topics and things like that is Perplexity. And I use that in my workflows when I'm trying to look at crafting stories and articles and things like that. If you're a coder, then I think ChatGPT has the edge at the moment, irrespective of what many other people might think. I think from a coding perspective, I think the engines that are designed within ChatGPT has got a lot better in terms of creating that type of code. And I think for validating and summarizing and assisting with code-based workflows, then I think ChatGPT is the best. Visuals, there's so many. As I mentioned, Sora, you've got Nano Banana, you've got Vero 3. I mean, there's so many tools out there. But I think if I was to choose two, Perplexity and GPT, depending on the workflows that you're doing.
Got it. Makes sense. And I get it. I would agree. I would just say start simple, find one that you like and start playing with that one and then move on. What are you trying to accomplish first? And then do some research and figure out which AI tool will do the thing you want it to do. So that's going to bring it to our takeaways session for this one. What's your biggest takeaway from today? My biggest takeaway was what Simon says, focus on efficacy and then efficiency. I think that's a huge takeaway for me. Neil, what's your big takeaway from today?
I'm interested in what you're building. Actually, the monster project. So that's my key takeaway. It's an interest in what you're doing. But I agree with you. You know, from what Simon said, you know, the efficiency and so on is really important. But yeah, cool. I'm interested in your tool. Tell me when it's available, and I'll start using it.
I will, for sure. Simon, what's your big takeaway from today?
Your amazing funnel. I mean, you are shipping one after the other. Last week we saw your book. Now, boom, there's this book, the workbook.
Now there's this book.
I love this.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. So
you are our front runner here.
I don't know about that, but thank you. We got a lot of things cooking over here. So yeah, cooking in the kitchen. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for being here for the Elevate podcast today. Hopefully that was valuable for you. Take away one thing, write in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway from today's session? Hopefully you picked up at least one tip from us. And remember, this is always a conversation. We want to know what you guys are thinking because this is for you. We don't do this for money or anything else other than just the three of us to jam out and share some information that we continually pick up from experts and other people. I mean, like, geez, Simon's co-writing a book with Jay Abraham, probably one of the best marketers on earth right now, which is, I mean, you can't get closer to the top than Simon's already at the top. So yeah, winning on that one for sure. So with that said, thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, we'll be back here same time, same channel next week to help you elevate or get your business to the next level. With that said, see you next week.
Avoid trying to do thousands of things that doesn't work. We have 274 templates for your business success. Reach your ambitious goals with one-on-one sprint coach. We double your revenue in 90 days.
What if your business would run well even when you are on vacation? Discover how 1,600 business owners have regained their freedom using the Strategy Sprints blueprints. How they enjoy living their dream and watching their business scale. Get the exact checklists they use to go from stressed to fulfilled using the Strategy Sprints method. Order your copy of Strategy Sprints 12 Ways to Accelerate.